truth is always hiding in the dark. Stick around and you'll find out.
American bread is not allowed in Europe because it's not legally classified as bread. Question is, who is to blame here? Is it the company or is it the government? I'd say it's America's insane lobbying. It's a legalized form of corruption. But that's where I'm a bigger fan of European policy. Here in Estonia, I've had the benefit of meeting various people who work in the government, and I look at the policy that they are enacting. For example, in Estonia, 51% of the country is forested. Everything grown here is certified organic. All of this is law. I hate to break it to you, but if you live in the United States and you buy bread, it's not bread. It's a commercial, weird product that here in Europe, we cannot even consider food. And that's what you're putting in your body.
You can't sell your soul. You know why you
And no wonder why we have a high rate of cancers.
can't sell your soul?
It doesn't belong.
You don't own it. He'll trick you into thinking that, and then that puts the person into despair. One of the worst cases I've ever heard was from the Exodus of New York City back about 15 years ago. There was a woman, a young girl at Juilliard, a violinist, and she was about to graduate. She was brilliantly talented, but all of her friends were getting job offers and she had none. And her friends remember always hearing her say the words, "I would do anything to be famous." Well, guess who's listening? Your angel's listening, but also there's other things in the room. And it wasn't long after that she went to bed one night, had a dream, and she said in the dream was the most beautiful man she'd ever seen naked, another sign calling card of the devil. And he said, "Do you really want fame and power?" She said, "I do." And he produced a contract, and he took his finger and slashed her finger and had her sign it in her blood. And then he touched the contract and it burst into flames. When you wake up from that dream and you remember it, you might take a pause and be like, I don't think that was a good thing. But what's worse is her finger was cut and the ashes were next to the bed. She still doesn't say anything. So within a couple of weeks, she signs this multinational tour, makes a ton of money, becomes very popular and famous on this circuit. And within a few years, she gets involved with drugs, goes to needles, gets HIV. Now she's dying in a New York hospital. And this whole thing comes back to how this started. And she calls her Filipino mother and tells her the story. And mommy calls the chancery, hysterical. I need an exorcist right away for my daughter. They tell him the whole story from the dream forward, and he says, okay, well, that's not good. You signed a blood covenant with the devil. So I'm gonna need you to break that with the blood covenant. So you're gonna write out the whole creed, and then you're gonna sign it in your blood. Well, the doctor's like, she has AIDS, she's not signing anything in blood, not gonna happen. And he says, well, then you need to step out of the room because she needs to do this. And she did do it, and she signed the contract, the creed, and she convulses and flatlines and dies. So now the doctor comes back and he's really upset. The mother is out of her mind. They're all blaming the priest. Hysteria goes on for about 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden she jumps up off the table. She's back. And they test her. No HIV, no AIDS. She's completely healed.
I bet she didn't read all the terms of her contract, but at the same time, hey, she was just in a dream. That's a creepy doll. Creepy.
कौन है कौन है किसके दांत तो देख तेरी भैया कोई और है यार ओए क्या चीज था भाई ये
Somebody over there.
Over where?
Right there.
Hey! What are you doing over there?
Why would you go check? Why? I would have packed my shit and be gone.
Where did it go? Where did it go, Carly?
Watch this video before it's removed from the internet.
So this is the documented moment of conception. and the sperm enters the egg, and there's this poof of light that comes off of it. Scientists are studying this, and they're looking at it, and they're like, okay, well, it looks like it's a release of zinc, a burst of zinc that comes off the egg, and it creates this appearance. But any way you slice it, they can't explain away that light happens when life happens. Is that amazing? Light happens when life happens. So this is the documented.
There's a lot of things going on underneath the ocean. If you ever fly across the Atlantic to like Qatar or something like that, or Dubai, they have that screen that shows you the scan of the ocean as you're flying over it. Just look at that for a few hours. You'll start seeing things. You'll start seeing what looks like remnants of structures underneath the water. And which is pretty crazy because it's like a scan. So you're seeing what's down there, even if it's dark outside. And some of those things look like remnants of ancient structures that have been destroyed or flooded over or whatever. But underneath the ocean, it's one of the greatest places to hide if you're an advanced civilization because nobody's doing any real research down there. And matter of fact, when I saw that UFO when I was a kid, I told two of my friends what I saw and we talked about it. And they were saying maybe it came from the ocean. I was like, yeah, maybe it's from the ocean. I think that under the ocean, you'll find a lot of bases there, whether it be alien or ours, I'm not sure. But I think that we will find the best place to hide on this planet is the ocean.
And we know more about space than ocean, but why?
Do you still not realize that they're all playing multiple roles? And I'm not just talking this guy. I'm talking all of them. Why don't we take a look at two supposedly different individuals in Benicio del Toro and Brad Pitt? They look kind of similar, right? Kind of real similar, even in their younger years. But that's all it is, right? Similarity. They just have similar features. They couldn't possibly be the same person, right? Well, let's take a closer look and see what we can find. Did you ever see when Benicio won an Oscar? Kind of runs like somebody I know. I don't know, there's just some similarities to it.
He's pushing.
Maybe it's just me.
He's pushing.
Although he does celebrate as he's being handed an Oscar. Oh, and did you see who just happened to hand him that Oscar? Brad Pitt's wife, and she just happens to be looking very adoringly at Benicio and seems pretty chummy with him for photos. But again, it's just coincidence. I'm making too much of this. Kind of like the coincidence of them sitting very identically and having the exact same mannerisms. And did you know they both just happen to be known for eating food a lot in their movie roles?
What do you think? Are they clones?
Handle food better on screen than anybody I've seen. And I want to...
But why would they do this, you're probably asking yourself. Why would they go through the trouble? I'll tell you. It's to give you the most skewed sense of reality possible. So you don't know left from right, and up from down, and round from flat, and you have to ask them and rely on them for all the answers, because then they have all the power. So the sooner you realize this is a reality and this is a reality, the sooner your mind is open to what reality actually is, and you can take your power back. That's what I did, and I feel better than ever. And of course, this is all for entertainment purposes. These guys are probably just from the same genetic line, way, way back from that English king that all the presidents are related to. Entertainment purposes only.
Now this is scary. Have you ever heard about the toothpaste theory?
Like toothpaste?
Yeah,
Never heard about it.
This might not be true, but if you haven't heard about it, have you ever noticed like something on the bottom of the toothpaste tube?
At the bottom?
Like there's always like a square of color when the rest of the packaging is white.
Oh, okay.
So check this out. You can either get a black square, a red square, or a blue square. And these colors might actually mean something. They might not just be random like some people think. Do you know what those mean?
No, I don't.
So keep in mind that they're all the same brand and type of toothpaste. Anyways, the theory goes that the people that know the code stay away from certain colors of the toothpaste. So it's like a if you know situation.
Okay.
Yeah. The code is if you have the green on your toothpaste, it means it's all natural. If you have the blue, it means that it is natural plus medicine. If it has red, it's natural with chemicals. And finally, if it is black, it's all chemicals. Again, this might not be true, but what do you think about it? And which color are you going to use?
Let me get the one with the green square. And when you know, you know.
This high school graduation, but for one promising graduate, it was anything but a happy occasion.
Elise Kathleen Eddy.
Moments after she steps on stage, her dad bum rushes the superintendent, pushing him out of camera view. It's a stunning sight. Look at the anguish on his daughter's face when she realizes it's her father disrupting her big moment and embarrassing her in front of the entire graduating class and parents. You can hear an angry exchange said to be between the two men.
Where's Brendan?
You better get up off
Where's
me,
Brendan?
man.
Where's
Get away from me, bro.
And then something stunning was said. I don't want her touching him.
It is unclear what led to this altercation, but we are hearing some chatter online. Some people are saying it could have been racially motivated because the superintendent is a black man and the father is a white man. And some people are saying that it was coming from a deeper issue that had happened in the past regarding a bullying incident that this parent had an issue with how it was handled.
No.
The father, Matt Eddy, was escorted out the building by 3 police officers. His daughter is comforted in front of the stage. She even composes herself long enough to take a photo. And then there's applause of support from her classmates when she finally takes her
How
seat.
to embarrass yourself and your whole
Look
family.
at the sadness on her face
This is how.
as she leaves the ceremony.
It's important because I'm going to show you even more down the line. Okay? Now this is the new guy now. No, the one that died before her. Look at the other king. Both bow down to the real king. Why? Ask yourself why the crown of London come and bow down to the real king. Why? There's both of them there. There's the queen and the king. Both bow down to the real king. Why? They know the truth. There's the difference between me and you and them and us. We on the outside, we see things the way Hollywood make us see it. And the propaganda is so strong to us, we thinking that everything goes the way we see it. Oh, she's the queen, man. Look how they running stuff. Yeah, she can do. No. When it comes to these folks, when it comes to these circles, these families, there's hierarchies. They know who to deal with, how to deal with. Selassie is the descendant of the Medicis, the real power. Okay? Selassie is the descendant of the Yeshua, the people that bring religion into play. Because Wu still have the publishing of the Bible. The Queen from Wu, King Henry, passing it down to King James. So this is where she knows she comes from. These people. That's why she's following protocol to bow down to real power. Okay? This is the truth. Now let me show you even more so you understand what you are witness here. Okay? What you're witness here, they are cousins. Selassie and Queen Elizabeth are cousins. When you heard about Mussolini was going to war with Selassie, it was because they try to retrieve artifacts that still stay intact in Ethiopia. To be exact, they were trying to get the oldest Bible in many.
When does king have hierarchy? And for the Queen Elizabeth, just to bow down, it means a lot. It tells you something. Would you be mad?
I tell you what, Puffy, your life is in danger. Because you know the secrets, who's involved in that little secret room you guys participating in. So, you know they're going to get you if they can. It's a little crazy how Puffy get booted out the alcohol business and Jimmy Iovine steps in with Andre and Snoopy promoting it. It's never a good look when it comes to culture of hip-hop and for our community, of our people. I turn myself in. Sometimes you gotta face the music.
Is in deep trouble, and for a reason.
So victims of domestic violence, a Webster family who lost a loved one has been pushing for the change. Anchor and investigative.
Pakistan has never seen an unbroken cycle of monsoons quite like this. 8 weeks of non-stop torrential rain. A national emergency has been invoked, but the weather in Pakistan, extreme weather, is alarming. Nita Garcha reports.
So people swallowing flies now, right? Like reptilians, like chameleons, like whatever, lizards. Man, regular people don't swallow flies. I wouldn't give a
Yeah, no.
instinct. I wouldn't give a if I was meeting the president. All right.
Technology is moving fast, guys, moving fast.
Guys, we're about to reveal to you right now one of the most dangerous things that exist in your home. Are you ready to see what it is? Susan, why should people never use these cleaning products in their home?
So there was a 20-year study done by the American Lung Association that proved that using these cleaning products once a week was as damaging to the lungs as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
Wait, just using these once a week was the same damage as smoking a pack of cigarettes in one day? Oh my God.
Having junk food once in a while, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You gotta slow down on that bad habit.
By the CIA.
Well, before we say Hollywood was created by the CIA, I guess I should clarify because, you know, first off, you guys do know the Pentagon has a budget for film. Like there's a whole department in the Pentagon.
Know that.
That's a fact. There you go. That's all you need to know. There's an entire department in the Pentagon. They get involved with films, and they get involved with films for the purpose of propaganda. They always have.
Hit certain people, and this was before we called things promotion and marketing. You know what I mean? That's Hollywood is not really there to entertain you. Like, that's great that happens, but propaganda is something that is important to all civilizations.
What movies have
I
they
should have
produced?
said Pentagon instead of CIA. Tons of them. I should show you the list. You should pull it up. It's
Google it right now.
wild. Yeah,
Absolutely,
Pentagon
please.
Department for Hollywood. Tons of them.
I have to
Even
report this.
Transformers. Even Transformers, like, you know, because they're concerned about certain narratives. They get involved with like World War films, like How Are We Telling a Story About History? Usually it's because we're lying about what we did or trying not to make Americans aware of the crimes against humanity that we
Wow.
commit overseas, you know?
Yeah, the Pentagon just funded some films: Black Hawk Down, Red Dawn, GoldenEye.
The more you know. So now you understand your experience in theaters is what your government wants you to think. They want you to think that this is how things happen, and it's usually not at all how things have actually happened.
6 of the best movies made with help from the Department of Defense. This is military.
Yeah.
Gentlemen. Then nothing changed. That ain't new. But if you didn't know, now you know.
Mr. Seibel.
Yes? If you really walked on the moon, why would you not do that? So why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Put your hand on the Bible.
Probably a fake Bible.
Really?
Please.
Well, no, it's the real Bible. You have the opportunity to have $5,000.
The meeting is not open.
Well, you have $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. I have the tape.
It'd be fine.
Why don't you swear to? Why not? Why won't you do it? So why don't you put your hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Mr. Seibel has made a fool of himself in front of the world. Mr. Seibel, you do not.
It's not just Diddy. It's like BlackRock and Vanguard. They actually own the music industry and control the music.
Wait. The investment houses of BlackRock and Vanguard, they own the music industry?
Absolutely. From Sony Music Group to they're the most invested in the music industry. They're the most through Viacom. They own BET, MTV, VH1. They're in control of the music industry, and they also own the overwhelming majority of stock in the private prison industry. I think the stock name is called CXW now. It's called Core Civic. It used to be called Corrections Corporations of America, and then they transitioned the name. And so this whole hip-hop deal was about creating a culture where, like, prison is a rite of passage.
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't.
Want to go to jail?
He's calling it. There we go, bro.
This is a cornball.
Você não fala inglês? Eu não falo nada de inglês. Inclusive, eu estava aqui fazendo um festival de blues.
Mas você canta em inglês?
Eu canto em inglês.
Mas como é que você faz? Você decora pelo som?
Eu decoro porque eu escuto música americana o dia inteiro, né? E a vida inteira eu sempre ouvia.
Blues também?
Blues, jazz.
Listening is learning.
Blues, reggae, essas coisas.
Agora, você teve um festival de blues. E você cantou o que lá?
Cantei blues.
Bluesão. Qual é que você cantou?
Sei lá, posso tocar aqui uma
palhinha.
Toquei uma música que chama Blues and Lonesome, do Little Walter. I'm blue and lonesome, Lord, as any way could be. I'm blue and lonesome, lost any way could be. My heart is a misery, and you just oh let me breathe.
He's good. He has a gift, guys.
Hey, how are you? Oh, yeah?
Yeah. This is a big house. I ain't know if it's the right one, because this one right here said that flowers and some other stuff, so.
Oh, yeah. No, it's actually a funeral home.
Oh, this is a funeral home?
Yeah, I live in the apartment upstairs.
You said you live in there?
Yeah, I live upstairs. My parents own the funeral home.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what's up. Okay.
Yeah.
So his body's in there, you say? Like.
Yeah.
He's having a flip.
Funeral home.
I heard that. So, I mean, this is where we're going to chill at and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't really tripping.
Yeah. Oh, no, you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I ain't worried about that. I mean, but if you want to go out to eat, we can go out to eat. It's up to you.
Oh, no, actually, I already cooked for you.
Oh, okay. What you make?
My specialty.
What?
Liver and onions.
liver, huh?
Uh-huh.
There
Yeah.
you go, you tripping.
Oh, no.
Oh no, you're tripping, bro.
Yeah, I want to be able to walk in and come out now. You know, I ain't tripping. You know, I'm from the hood. I ain't tripping all day.
Yeah.
But,
You ready to go in? It's
kind
kind
of. I mean, I go. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, lights work and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Everything works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Watch out!
Yeah, you better watch out, bro.
Let's go somewhere else, girl. You know what I mean? I ain't scared. It ain't about none of that. I'm just saying you don't want to go nowhere else.
Well, let's at least just go inside real quick.
I mean, all right, that's cool. I mean, that's good.
Wearable devices. So these are brain sensors that are starting to be embedded in everyday devices, but until now have been a number of niche companies that really have focused on mindfulness and meditation. The use of, for example, brain sensors that can pick up electrical activity in the brain at a pretty low resolution, but advances in AI have both improved what the signal is that can come from the brain and enabled the miniaturization of those products. As a lot of the major tech companies start to invest in these brain sensors, it's a huge, I think, untapped market in many ways of integrating them into everyday devices. These are earbuds or watches or headphones and the soft cups around the ears. Many of those products are hitting the market this year, and others are hitting them within the next 2 years, such that people can listen to music, a phone call, etc., while having those devices in ears. Initially, what they will be capable of doing is very high-level brain state reading. Things like, are you tired? Are you paying attention? Is your mind wandering? Are you happy or sad? They maybe enable interaction like up, down, left, right for interaction with other technologies. And they're being embedded into things like virtual reality headset.
Are your rings real?
No.
Oh. So it was scripted. You knew you was getting them.
Of course, all day, every day.
Yeah. So y'all knew you was getting
all
them.
day, every day.
Yeah.
It was a script. True story. I never told the story. In the first round, my first championship, in the first round, I forget who we were playing. I hear Phil Jackson tell Gary Vitti, hey, get us some hotels in Indiana, because that's where we're going to play in the finals. This was like before game one in the finals, and like it didn't hit me until we got to Indiana.
Or maybe he just knew that they were the best team in the East.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard the man say. We haven't even played one game yet. They were back at me. He's like, yeah, get us some, hotel rooms in Indiana. I don't want to stay in Indiana. I want to stay on the, outside of Indiana.
They make the plays, follow the script, don't ask questions.
Y'all have been doing this now for 30 years. 30 years. 30. What do you know now about one another that you didn't know 30 years ago?
Well, I know now how good he is. Because I seen his growth, from Fresh Prince and to movies and all the way to what he's accomplished. I'm just really impressed.
Yeah, and just with Martin, just how absolutely honest.
What the brother is looking at.
And it's like, I just love that he can be calm.
Is that me or he's like less energetic, you know what I'm saying? The Martin Lawrence I know, and like that.
What happened to all the Anunnaki and Thoth and all them?
They had 2 wars. The first Pyramid War almost eradicated them, but they started over again. The second Pyramid War, bad. That one almost decimated the planet. You see how when you look at Earth, like from Google Earth, you see a lot of those big deserts going across. People say, oh, that's just natural geological formations over time. This has become an arid desert. No, that's war. If you go to Egypt and stick your hand deep in the sands, eventually you're going to come up with balls of glass. How do you get glass and sand? 3,000 plus degree temperatures. You go to Mohenjo-Daro in the Indus Valley, what are you going to see there? Dead bodies still in the streets from thousands of years ago, still holding hands, never been scavenged. The buildings that they lived in turned to glass. How can that be? We're talking about 3,000 plus degree temperature weapons fire. We're talking about this war that happened in the ancient past. Amun-Ra wanted to continue he started the first war to take over the earth early because he didn't want to wait for his processional period to rule. And then this is the guy who says you must say amen after everything. Say amen. Everything you give thanks for, you're saying amen to him. So when you say amen, you're thanking him, by the way. a brutal killing guy. But anyway, so he says it's a fact. He started one war to take over early, which he won.
Yeah.
He then started a second war to stay in power. And in that second war, he escaped. He was almost killed, but he left his kingship and the finances of the kingdom to the Ra-Kam, and R-A-K-A-M. But that translates into modern words. Kam translates into childs. So now you translate Rothschilds.
Oh! My uncle
didn't
die. He was murdered. I am a child of Neverland. I spent my whole life there. People forget that, you know, my uncle wasn't the type person to say, oh, you have to be invited to. It was my uncle's house. My uncle was a family man. And most of the time when people were up there, he wasn't there. Let's not forget there was probably 100 people with cameras. So they're not just saying
adults with cameras.
Yeah, so you have adults with cameras, you have family, you have mothers, children, and whenever he was there, it was for the public. When he dies, whatever was owned by the company reverts back. Well, they showed Wade burning the pictures of Michael and doing all this stuff. So why does the weirdo keep a ring? And let's be real, like I said, Neverland was a toy for my uncle. You think my uncle's gonna buy some little ring? This is a man who, for us as children, closed down malls and let us have free random run of the mall. He didn't bother us. He looked at us and said, the mall's closed down. Y'all go get what the hell y'all want. Tell me the price at the end. He was never that type person. He was no funny dude. My uncle was a man.
What are you gonna
Do you believe MJ was that dirty, or it was just a setup?
do now?
Well, my phone's gone.
Oh yeah, phone is gone. Forever. Ever.
Maybe if the gator left, I would get it. But even then.
Maybe like there's like the walking stick. Maybe it's something with like a
Walking
grabber.
stick isn't long enough.
Oh, he's gonna eat it.
No, it's not.
Oh, wrong. Ooh, crispy and crunchy. Wow, the power of those jaws. You'll crack your bones.
President Trump when he was in the White House. So he called me about 2 or 3 weeks before he left office to ask my opinion on some of the people he was about to pardon. And then I said, Mr. President, can I raise, after giving him my opinion on the pardons, and I won't mention any of those names, but Mr. President, do you remember promising me personally and the American public that you would, before you leave the White House, open up the JFK assassination files? Yes, I do remember promising that. Well, you only have 2 weeks left. And he said to me, Judge, if you saw what I saw, you wouldn't open up those files either. And I said, what do you mean? He said, someday when we're talking together and there aren't 15 people listening, because he was calling me from the White House switchboard, I will tell you what I saw.
I've heard all.
Trump has never been scared of anything in his life. But to be scared for opening those files, he got spooked. You don't even have to open those files. You already know something very dark is in these files.
Because everybody says, well, they didn't want Beast Mode to be the MVP. Pete wanted it to be Russ, or the NFL wanted it to be Russ, and whatever the case may be. But it doesn't make sense. I mean, I played the game for a long time. It doesn't make sense to me. I got 235-pound sledgehammer back there, and I'm going to throw a pass on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, it just don't make sense.
You almost scored on the play before. You read it down.
NBA scripted, NFL
right.
too.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
Realistically, like, man, when I think about it, I'm in a position to where, you feel me, I don't get, upset or frustrated with it, but more so curious, like, because then you got all the possibilities. Did they not want you to be the Super Bowl MVP? Because if you're Super Bowl MVP, then you're the face of the NFL. They don't want that to be the case.
Let me ask you about Corey Gamble. He was at Kim Porter's death scene.
Yeah, I know. And he was also the nigga that took Tory Lanez to Kylie's house to fake shoot Megan Thee Stallion. Corey Gamble is Justin Bieber's former tour manager, which taught Kris Jenner how to be a tour manager so that she could take over the financial responsibility for all of Kanye West shows and remove Sean G. Yeah, Corey Gamble has been a plant for a long time. Everybody knows it. He's probably the one that groomed Justin and make him so pliable so that they could pimp him out at all these damn music festivals. He would be the right guy for the job. You can sue me, Corey.
The most obvious way that you can tell that the NFL is scripted is just by the way that these guys tackle. Now, if you've played football, which is I know a lot of you have not played football by the comments that y'all drop in my comment section, but if you've played football and you know how to make a tackle, if you know how to take somebody down, then you know fake tackling and non-attempts when you see it. Now, let me show you this non-attempt here. Look at this attempt right here. What is he doing? What is he trying to tackle with this? What is this? Is he trying to grab his feet? Did he even try to grab his feet? No, he didn't. He literally just fell on his face. Let's look at it again. Now, when you look at this again, I want you to ask yourself, did he put his hands out? Did he try to grab his foot? Let's take a look. Does he try to actually put his hand out and grab the guy's foot to trip him up? Or does he just put his hands down to brace his own fall? Look at this. Just watch now. You see his hands just going straight to the ground so that he could brace himself. Doesn't try to trip anybody up. So now, how is that real football? Explain to me how that's real football if you're not even making an attempt to grab the person's leg. You gotta be kidding me.
What are they in a frenzy about?
I don't know.
That's a bunch of sharks.
I wouldn't want to fall in the water right now.
Me neither.
You want to go swimming?
In your dreams, bro.
I've seen it, but that's a lot of medium.
Y'all ever seen that many all at once again?
Not really.
What does that mean for America? Conspiracy theories are going to watch. Number 322. First of all, he's not the nominee. And, but California, they're losing. Not a lose. You both were members of Skull and Bones, the secret society, yeah. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, secret number? There are all kinds of secrets. They're faced with a very real prospect of Donald Trump becoming...
My friend and colleague, Tim Russert, the moderator of Meet the Press and NBC's Washington bureau chief, collapsed and died.
Are you familiar with Khalil Gibran?
Yes.
He wrote a book, he wrote The Prophet, in 1923, but he wrote another book called Sand and Foam. In that book, he told a story of a man who had been away from his family for 4 months working, and he was excited to come home, and as he was coming home, he knew that the mountain, when he saw the mountain, he was close to home. So his 5 senses started having a conversation, and his eyes says, I see a mountain, I see a mountain, I see a mountain. And so the ears perked out and said, I don't hear a mountain. The nose sniffed and said, I don't smell a mountain. The tongue tasted the air. I don't taste a mountain. And the other 4 senses started speaking among themselves, and they came to the conclusion that there must be something the matter with the eye, because they couldn't perceive it. But all of these things, we've been misled just because we've been fooled by our senses. Our eyes see 0.05% of the entire electromagnetic wave. We're blind cosmically, but we judge everything by what we see. And they've done that with science for so many years. You look at E = mc². That talks about expansion. It does not show how it's divided. You've never breathed in twice without breathing out. You breathe in and you breathe out. You charge and you discharge. So how is it that the breathing in, they're acting as if the universe is just expanding out, breathing out, and it's going to dissipate out, and they never include the contractive side of it, breathing in.
Just China casually curing diabetes. Check this out, y'all. In world first, Chinese scientists report cell therapy cure in diabetes case. A 59-year-old man with type 2 diabetes who needed multiple insulin injections daily was given an innovative cell transplant. He now has been insulin-free for 33 months and is not on any other medication. Wow. But truly, America, at what cost? Look at this chart here. This is the insulin market size 2022 to 2032, obviously projections. And this is in billions, okay? 2022, the market share of insulin was at 23.1, and now it's grown to whatever, 26 point whatever. Okay, see how it's going up? Oodles and oodles, more billions, right? More billions is good, America. More billions. Who's going to stand with the CEOs who are going to rake in the oodles and oodles of billions in profits from this insulin market?
Money talks. Your health? Who cares? You'll die soon. And that's all they care about. You're just a tool they're going to use for their own profit. On that note, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.